What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and I'm here today with the review for Black Ink Crew Chicago. This is season 6, episode 6, and the episode is titled Glenda. So, you guys, this was a really heavy episode. I didn't watch it when it first came on. I had to rewatch it later because I knew from the previews what this episode consisted of, and I just wasn't ready to sit down and watch the episode, so I had to just, watch the oval and then come back to, actually I left, went to the gym, came back home, and now watch it. Oops, excuse me, y'all. Because, like I said, it was just heavy, and I knew the emotions that Charmaine was feeling. But we're going to get into that just a little later, but without further ado, let's go ahead and just get right into the video. Alright, so this video might not be long, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the first half where it was just, fun. So we see Charmaine, she's at Second City Inc., and she's talking to the crew, and she does apologize to the crew about the way that she acted, with, what's his name, Fly, having a conversation with Ryan. And she, like she said, she apologized to him. She's hormonal, she's pregnant, so, and they understand it. They were like, that's cool, shit, so I'm just flowing out of my eye. And, she tells Fly, like, if you want to go work for Ryan, that's cool. I'm not going to stop you if that's what you want to do. He says, no, I'm good. He's like, I'm right here with you, and we good. And then, she also tells him that she went over to Ryan's shop and how things didn't go so well when she went there. So then she also tells the crew that she wants to do this maternity shoot, and she wants it to resemble Beyonce's maternity shoot. I'm like, okay, cool. She says Sharonce or something like that. And so then let's move over to 4. So we see Ford, and he's at the shop with Ryan and Dom, and he's talking about this girl who says that he might be the father of her 17-year-old daughter. Now, I do know last week that Ford, or the week before, sometime, Ford posted a picture of that girl asking, do they look alike? And I'm like, why come you just don't do a DNA test? But I mean, you know what? It is what it is. Now, he also does tell us he doesn't remember, this girl, but he will meet up with her. So then, Don and Ryan said, hey, we got your back and we support you, basically. So then Bella shows up to the shop, and Bella is trying to talk to Ryan about getting her job back because, she's struggling to make ends meet with her daughter. She's working temp jobs. She's working part-time jobs. And I'm like, well, that's what being an adult is. That's what being a parent is. Like, you got to do what you got to do for your child. You got to do what you got to do for yourself. I mean, that's part of being an adult. So, and my thing with Bella is you did a lot of wilding out last season. And the funny thing is, when you first came on the show, you were supposed to be in Ryan's other shop, but then you somehow migrated over to the other shop, and then you got your ass fired. So really, and it really, some of the stuff that Bella got into, it wasn't always her. Like that whole fight with Evanita in season 4, I believe. That wasn't all her. But the stuff last season, that was you, my dear. So, you can't really be mad. And she was like, so, do you have any, she asked him, do he have anything open? He said, oh, that hurt. He said, no, he don't have anything open. And she's like, okay, how about this? If something does come up, will you let me know? Ryan to give her, an answer. And I'm just like, Bella, girl, go find a job. It might not be the ideal job that you want, but go find something. There's something out there for everybody. And so go find a job. Like I said, it might not be ideal. It might not be what you want. Do what you can until you can get where you want to go in life. My grandmother always told me that. And she always told me never quit one job until you have another one secured. So, keep that in mind. So then we also see 4. So 4 does meet up with this girl who's, this alleged baby mama. And, he's talking to her. And he's also telling her that, basically, he doesn't remember ever hooking up with her. And she says to him, she's like, she doesn't remember whose house it was at. If it was a cousin, it was an uncle, it was somebody's house, but they were in the closet. There were some trash bags in there, but they also got caught. And then, she also showed him a picture of one of his homies that he was with, which he know the homie, but he just doesn't remember her or having sex with her. Now, my thing is, with this whole situation with this alleged baby mama, this girl is 17 years old. Why would you wait? Why would you wait 17 years to say, oh, this is your daughter? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And I can see it if maybe, let's see what kind of situation I can understand. You were raped and you didn't know you were raped. Um, what else? But even I'm gonna talk about the rape because there's another situation I'm thinking in my head. Let's just say you had sex with multiple guys, and there's nothing wrong with that, and you don't know who you got pregnant by. I would think at that time you would want to know who the child's father is, which strangely enough, that did happen when I was in high school. A girl that I was cool with, she had sex with. I don't want to put. I'm not trying to put her business out there too much. She had sex with I think 3 guys, and she didn't know who the child's father was. And sad enough, and I mean we were freshmen in high school. You can do the math right there. I think we were 14, 15 years old, and I felt bad. I'm like, damn, that is really sad that a 14-year-old has to do a DNA test on different dudes to see who the father is. I thought that was really sad, but that's the only kind of situation I can understand. But even in that situation, like what I just said, she did it when the girl was still a child, a baby. So she didn't grow up, and even so, and it's like, another situation, like, how people get married, have a husband and wife, the wife steps out on the husband, and then years later, but that only typically happens in soap operas. But, a situation like that, if, she was married and she got pregnant on the side, but she wanted to pretend like it was her husband's child, and then something happened in his life where he found, again, this soap opera that I'm taking this from soap operas. Something happened in his life. He got sick, and it turned out the child wasn't a match to him, and he wondered, why is she not a match to me? Turned out she's not my child. Something like that. But I just can't understand. 17 years, and you think you know who the child's father is, but you never told him. But miraculously, he now because, and I feel like what for Sam, or it could be clout chasing. That's just what it feels. And then she tells Ford that her daughter is there with her, and does he want to meet her? And I was like, no, no offense to the girl, but no, why would I want to meet her? Like, we don't even know if she's my child, so why would I want to meet someone like that's not smart. But he said cool, but it was an uncomfortable cool when he said it. And I'm like, I don't know if you should do this. So then we're going to segue into Charmaine. So we see Charmaine at Second City Inc. She's doing her photo shoot. The photo shoot, it was Charmaine. It wasn't bad. So then Neek, she wants to take a video for her mom, and then they do take a video for her mom. So then I'm gonna stop right here, and we're gonna just segue into the second half of the episode. All right, you guys. So bear with me with this scene, with this stuff right here, because these emotions that Charmaine was experiencing in this situation are the same emotions that I felt almost 3 years ago. And if you guys have been with me any length of time on this channel, had to breathe. If you guys have been with me any length of time, you know that my mom passed away 3 years ago on my grandmother's birthday, which is March 19th. And like I said, these are the exact emotions that I felt. The difference is with Charmaine and me was that I was at the hospital. I was the one who and much like Charmaine, my mom went to this hospital. She had surgery on her heart because, she had some blockage in her heart. They got that done. They put a stent in her heart. She was fine. We went home the next day. We went home the next day. I left her with my aunt, and I went home to, get some stuff for her because I was not living near my mom. I was living here in Dallas. So it was Sunday night, and I was getting ready to come back home to go to work the next morning. And, her eyes actually rolled we were trying to get her to the bedroom. Her eyes rolled into the back of her head. And we tried to get her to the bedroom, but we had to call the paramedics, got her to the hospital. She had internal bleeding, so they had to rush her back to surgery. surgery was a success, I will say that much, but she hemorrhaged so much that she lost so much blood, and there was just nothing that they could do for her. You know, they kept doing CPR on her, and eventually they came to me and they asked me that they want me to stop, tell them to stop, pumping on her. And I'm like, no, I don't want you to stop pumping on my mom. Like, no, do what you can. So I definitely know where Charmaine is coming from in this situation. Like, I definitely 100% get Charmaine. And so let's just backtrack just a little bit. So at the shop, at Second City Ink shop, they're worried about Charmaine because they haven't heard anything from Charmaine. So, we see, well, I'm getting, okay. So, yeah, we see this, at the shop, they worry about Charmaine. We see Charmaine, she's on the phone with her dad, and she's on the phone with Neek at the same time, and she's trying to get information out of her dad, and she's trying to get Neek to come back to the house to be with her. Oops, excuse me, y'all. So she's trying to get Neek to come back home. So her dad is telling her that they're not really telling him anything right now, but her heart did stop, and I was just like, oh my God, like, are you serious? And I remember seeing all this on the blogs. When I saw it on the blogs, my heart dropped, and my heart drops now for Charmaine. Like, I really 100% feel so bad for Charmaine. So, at one point, Charmaine kept calling her dad. She kept calling him, and he wasn't answering. So then she called back, and, she said, Dad, have they told you anything? And he said, mm-hmm. And she was like, what? And he said, she's gone. And when Charmaine broke down and started crying, that took me out. Because, like I said, you guys, I've been through that situation. I know exactly what it's like. Like I say, the difference is I was at the hospital, and when the doctor came out to me, he came directly towards me, and I just knew at that moment what it was. So I know these emotions that Charmaine is feeling. Like, her mom was her best friend. My mom was my best friend. I was my mom's only child, much like Charmaine. It's just crazy. Super crazy. I expected my mom, just like Charmaine said, I expected my mom to be here for a little bit longer with me. I prayed for it. I knew eventually my mom was going to pass away, but I just did not expect it at that time. And I know Charmaine didn't expect it either. And, she's getting ready to go to Louisiana to be with her dad. And, it's so difficult to plan a funeral of I know it would be even harder for your parents to plan a funeral for you, but it's just so hard for you to plan your parents' funeral. And the moment that I think it really sinks in for anyone who's lost a parent is the moment that you have to go to the funeral home to view the body. That was hands down the worst day for me, because when we went to the funeral home to view the body, it was the day before the funeral, and I'm just like, are you serious? Like, this is the last time that I'm gonna see her? Like, the last time that I'm ever going to see my mother. Like, how do you get through that? Like, there's just something that you can't get past. And I love the fact that with the crew, despite whatever Ryan and Charmaine has gone through, Ryan came over, he's checking on Charmaine. And also, Ryan had a relationship with Glenda outside of Charmaine. And Glenda always wanted Ryan and Charmaine to mend the fences with each other. And we also saw that Don and Ford came over. Now, Charmaine was not ready to see Don and Ford. And Don and Ford, they definitely understood it. That, right now, Charmaine, she might not forgive us, but we just want her to know that we're here and that we support her. And I love that as well. So then we do later see Ryan. He went over to Second City Inc. and he told those guys the news as well. Man, this was so deep. So deep. But you guys, that we saw Charmaine, her and Nick, when they were getting ready to leave for Louisiana. I think it's New Orleans to be exact. But oh, we also did see Danielle and her mom. They went to check on her, and then also Nick's mom called to check on her. And it's so good to see the support. It's interesting because when you're dealing with it and people call to check on you, you'll tell them you're okay, but in the forefront you're really not okay. And I do feel so bad for Charmaine because she's pregnant. This is her parents' first grandchild, and I know her mom was looking forward to seeing that baby, and now this. And I'm so glad that Charmaine was stayed calm in this whole situation. Like, I know it's upsetting, but think about the baby. Think about what's best for the baby. And that is where I'm gonna end this video, you guys. So be sure to like this video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification button so you guys know when I drop anything. And also, once again, rest in peace to Glenda. So I will see you guys later.